Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, guys. Thank you for joining the live AMA keynote, whatever you want to call it. I think it's important to be transparent for us and to share with the community, with the traders, with the users as well. Here we are this is the 8th floor of the Malta office, of Chiliz office, Chiliz and Socios. This room is usually used to do what we call the blockchain breakfast, or we used to do like internal meetings. We never did a live stream from here. We did that today, even though we have another TV studio, just because it's more convenient, it's in the office, and also it's to avoid having more people from the team to come. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for joining from Japan, from Turkey, from everywhere in the world. I'm talking a little bit so you can join. But importantly, if you can join us on Twitter and YouTube. So I guess it's youtube.com/Chiliz and twitter.com/Chiliz as well. So we will take questions at the end. So you can already start question, and my team is going to send me on my laptop the different question you have. And I'm going to try to answer to most of them. Let me just check everything is okay. Richard, it's okay? All good. So a bit of an update. First of all, I'm going to say stay safe. As you know, we are facing kind of a one-of-a-kind situation. It's not really about us. It's literally the entire world. I've been lucky or unlucky enough to live through the 9/11, through the 2008 crisis. In both time, I was an entrepreneur already. In the 9/11, I remember in my office when that happened. It was a company that was doing a city guide, and of course, it did affect our business as well. 2008, I had my company called Chili Poker, which was an online poker company, online betting, online casino, and yet we went through it as well. So it is difficult, and it's going to be difficult. I think we are just at the early days of what's going to happen. On the other end, we need to embrace it, not in a positive way, but embrace it like, hey, we're going to go through it anyway. And that's the message I need to share with you guys, is we're going to go through it. And we will also, hopefully, become even stronger after it, and I will explain why. First, stay safe, meaning that we did implement as well as a company since few days already. Our team are working at home. That was a proactive decision. The government here in Malta hasn't recommended yet people to work from home, and definitely not a mandatory situation, but we've done it since mid last week. I'm not going to say funny enough, but we actually did order mask and sanitizer end of January. So we were very, very much ahead of the curve on that hand, because we have Asian offices, we have Asian friends, we have Asian investors, traders, partners. So we're very much, I will say, educated, or at least exposed and knowledgeable about what's going on there. And now we are facing it in a much more, on a daily basis in our daily life. So happy that we took some of the decision we did a few weeks ago. Another thing as well, for example, we just announced it to our team a couple of hours. We are paying even the salary in advance, or at least part of the salary in advance, to our colleagues, to ensure that everybody has enough money if they need to buy anything they need, either to stock up or not. But that's very important. So yeah, we are pretty much right now in a setup where we work remotely. Most of the team at least work remotely. I hate it. I always said it, and I actually did it here in this meeting. I hate when people work remotely, because that's not my background. I'm a Web 1.0 guy, but yet the technology today is much better. We work with Slack, Google Meet. In a way, we already worked remotely anyway, because we have teams everywhere in the world. Our dev team is working mainly remotely even before that. So we are structured and equipped for that. So that's a good news, is it doesn't really disrupt too much the operations, and that's important. We are still actually recruiting developers. So of course, to do interviews, silliest thing, but to do interviews, we have to do it remotely, even though we're going to hire people in Malta or in France, mainly the two main offices. But we're still continuing to hire developers, because whatever happens in the next few weeks, few months, we're going to need to develop more, and that's really the priority. We the operation, or more or less operation as doing our job, or more or less as usual. Of course, there is a bit of disruption. There is a lot of disturbing information coming through the internet. So one of the signal or guidance we gave to our team is it's not that because you read something online that makes you a doctor. And all the time that you spend reading stuff online is time you don't spend working, and it's time you're usually wasting. And so we are hoping that our team, our colleagues, are gonna work even in a much more efficient way in the next few weeks to support the growth and the business of Chiliz and Socios.com. In terms of product, doesn't really change anything. We're still, actually, I just received the test flight notification of our 1.6 version of the mobile app that is in staging setup right now, and will be released either end of this week, either next week as planned. So we are still planning to release as expected and as promised the mobile app version update that will allow you to send your Chiliz or send your fan tokens outside of the app by the end of the month. That's the main thing we're going to actually talk about during the next AMA, which is not canceled. So there is still the live keynote AMA, the 30th of March. And that will be much more about the strategy and the product, and things we wanted to either share with you or launch will still be announced that day. So today it's more like just a catch-up. It's going to be very short. It's a catch-up to ensure that you guys understand where we are, where we go, and what are the opportunities ahead of us. And the next EMA in 10 days, which they are with 15, so in 15 days, will be really about the product, the strategy, partnership, maybe listing as well. And doesn't make any sense to do it today. Product-wise, still launching what we plan to launch. Roadmap is more or less the same right now. We adjusted a little bit some of the features. I hope, and no pressure if you're listening, but I hope we can launch one of our features that is the chat system. We spoke about it in end of January, but we want to have in the app the fact that fans and token holders of Juventus, of Barca, or whatever tokens we have can actually talk to each other. And I believe that makes much more sense now, as you can expect, because of the disruption of sports events. We do want sports community to get closer to each other, and we want Socios.com to actually be an enabler of that, thanks to what we do. So the team is right now. The team is focusing on launching, as you know, the trading and features to send your tokens out of the platform and to be able to use Chiliz.net as soon as we can. And just one of the small features, because it's not a massive one, that will come just after, will be the chat before other product that we will announce in end of March. In terms of partnership and discussion we have with teams, as you can imagine, actually, of course, for us, it's a bit annoying and a bit disrupting that right now, at least for the next few weeks, we cannot send you to events that we are partnering with. But it's even worse for the teams, actually, for the sports teams, because their business is much more disrupted than ours. Ours, we have 8 weeks disruption. Sorry, for the time being, ahead of us. I always say, and I wrote that a few days ago on Twitter, we see that rather as an opportunity, because all the time that we don't spend handling the relationship with sending people all over the place, etc., is actually time we can spend continuing building and being a little bit more creative. I'm going to tell you some of the things we are doing now. But in terms of relationship with the teams are the first one actually to approach us, say, hey guys, what can we do together? How can we use your technology and your creativity to actually do a little bit more towards our fans? And the sports industry is going to be challenged, 100%. The sports industry is going to be disrupted, 100%. Maybe, sadly enough, I was a few months ago, I was talking about the fact that the sports industry is one of the rare industry that hasn't been challenged by the technology. When you look at the travel industry, the finance industry, the banking industry, the dating industry, the TV industry, everything has been challenged by tech, but the sports hasn't. Now, because of what's happening, actually, the sports may going to be disrupted or at least enhanced and use technology for its best. Because there is one thing that will never, ever, ever disappear is the relationship between sports and fans. A little bit of history. I don't know if it's probably not 2,000 years ago, but well, no, actually, yes, it's 2,000 years ago or even more. And I don't want to look like an idiot saying that, but if you watch back in the years the Gladiator movie, there is this famous part where they explain that the games and the arena and the Colosseum and everything was built to ensure that the population and the people in general are being fed by entertainment and can actually get excited about that. And even though it is cliche, it is the reality and it is history. And you can see, and we know factually, that sports is recession-proof. Of course, if there is no match, that's a bit of an issue. But match will come back, celebrities will come back as well. And whatever happened in the finance industry, whatever happened in the in others industry, sports will be the first one that people will look for, because even if you are stuck at home, you actually want to engage with Ronaldo, you want to have your team fighting against another team, because it's in the human nature. And for that, we're actually going to continue to invest, and we're going to continue to develop features and tools for that space. And I will say, I'm not going to say, hey, we are even more bullish. It's not the point. The point is, there is a need. And teams, more than ever, are going to need small companies like us to actually provide solutions, business solutions, technical solutions. And we already see that today. So in our conversation with them. So for us, this significant disruption last 10 days and the disruption that's going to come in the next 6 weeks, yes, sure, it is a 2-3 months painful process. But the reality is we are not in the sports betting industry. The fact that a match happen or doesn't happen doesn't impact our bottom line. I have friends who are in the sports industry, sports betting industry, because as you know, I'm coming from that space, and most of our team are coming from that space. And right now, they are losing 80% of their business because you cannot bet on anything. We don't do that. We're not in that relationship. We are building relationship between fans and clubs and potentially celebrity with fans as well. And I will say, and if you followed as well what we are doing, we are also increasing and hoping to increase the relationship between sponsors and fans. Because right now, sponsors are spending millions of dollars towards the teams. But the question at some point in the next few weeks, in the next few months, is how can they translate this investment towards the fans? And we are already in touch with major loyalty program company on how I have my miles from that hotel company or that airline company. We spoke in the last AMA about Qatar Airways and how we're going to work with them. We will tell you more in 2 weeks now. But all of this is going to actually challenge us to work closer with them. So we actually going to be, we as a company, or we as a token, we're going to work closer with some of the biggest brands in the world, of course in the sports space, but also the sponsors of this sports company. And that's going to provide us a lot of opportunities ahead of us. So, it is. I am an entrepreneur, so for me, sometimes you will say, "Oh, that's scary." Yeah, sure, of course, it's scary a little bit because you don't know what's going to happen in few weeks. But on the other end, for me, beside the health issue, and don't take me wrong, this is scary. That's the scary part. But as a business, I see rather that as an opportunity because we have a team of 60 people that are 24/7 almost now, but at least during the day, are thinking about how can we use the resources that we have. We have a TV studio here in Malta. And we have, more importantly, TVs or streaming capabilities. Should we use that to connect the teams and do FIFA or PES games or whatever? I don't know. Maybe we will. We are talking to the teams already with that. We have an app to which we can embed features. And we are obviously more reactive than sports team, tech team working in sports team, and also sponsors of the sports team. So this is an opportunity for us to connect a little bit the dots with that. We're still talking, the discussion we have engaged, as you know, with a lot of sports teams, either in North America, in Europe, in Asia, still active. I can tell you that more than ever, teams are looking to find ways to actually engage with their fans globally. Because at some point, if there is less matches or if it's a little bit different, they will need to be closer to their fans everywhere in the world. And that's where we believe we can bring value as well. So of course it's going to take time, but this is the same mission and the same vision we envisioned 2 years ago and a few months ago, and yet we're still here. The same way, the teams are going to look at monetizing their global fan base, and that's what we've seen since day one. We have 4 pillars in the business of Chiliz and Socios. First one is engaging, second one is monetization, third one is activation, sponsoring, or working with sponsors, and the fourth one is data. And the first two are clearly what's gonna be needed in the next few weeks, few months for the teams. And we are actually already working internally to provide the new solution, new business solution, new technical solutions to support that. The third one is the activation, the sponsors. As I said, sponsors are going to be in need to get closer to the fans of the teams that they are working with. And we're gonna support that, but also because we want to get closer with them. We are all in the same boat. So this is a fascinating time. It's going to be, yes, definitely challenging. I'm just reading. Yeah. One of the first things we're going to do, it's being launched maybe just right now or a little bit later today. We started last Thursday or Friday with this hashtag Home with Socios. And we had was it like 300 impression or reach 300,000 reach on Twitter thanks to that, and we're gonna have more and more and more because again we have a very cool social media team. We have access to cool I will say IPs, Barcelona, Youth, PSG, and all of these teams, and what we're going to launch today, we're going to launch a token hunt that is not anymore outside of home, because actually we do not invite you to go outside of home, but it's going to be in home, in your own house. So we're going to start to reward users to use our app every day as long as you token hunt at home. And you're also sharing this, of course, on social media. So we're actually going to use and leverage what's happening right now to most of you and to most of us in order to create more awareness to prepare what will happen in 6 months or in 3 months. So the same way, and we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow there is a big UEFA meeting. And my gut feeling, and that's my gut feeling, so I have no insight about this, but I do believe that the Euro 2020 is going to be delayed for 1 year, which doesn't affect us at all because we had zero exposure. Actually, the Euro 2020 was rather an issue for us because we don't have any exposure, so we had nothing to do during that time. On the other end, because the leagues, the domestic leagues and the Champions League are currently delayed or at least suspended, we believe that they will actually be played during the time that the Euro 2020 was supposed to be played, which then become an opportunity for us. Because if in the next 6 weeks we can just work quietly and do our job and do our business and produce more features and develop more features, and in 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, when everything is going back better, I'm not going to say normal, but at least better, then we will have the whole end of the leagues and the Champions League to actually leverage the experiences and the teams and the IPs and the promotion we have with them. So we actually see that as an opportunity, and then it will just go back to back to the next season. That's subject to the fact, of course, that they will still play and obviously accept fans, which is the goal in 8 weeks or more. But even if the goal is making fans getting closer to their clubs, and we believe we can provide a platform and a solution for that. So I don't want to make it too long. I'm just checking if there is other things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, we still in 2 weeks, so in the next AMA that was planned, as I said, we are not changing our plans at all. We are keeping to what we said because we want you to be reassured as well that when we say something, we deliver it. Until now, we've delivered everything we said we were going to deliver. So when we are telling you something, you can trust us in that way. But yeah, business-wise, our partnership team still engaging and talking to all the teams that we have agreement in place that are either not announced or not signed. We are still moving forward. We actually see that as opportunities as well. There is one very big sports IP we are talking to. We agreed, term sheet is there. We are just trying to figure out when is the right time to promote it, push it, and activate it, because of course if they don't have any events in the next 4 weeks, what's the point of announcing it next week? We'll see. But it doesn't mean that we are not ready for it. It's just a button that we press and we are pushing it. So partnership team is still very active. And we are actually receiving incoming calls even more now, as I said earlier, because teams will need solutions like what we do, not because we are the best, by far we are not, but at least because we are providing solutions and we are providing opportunities to monetize this solution. And in an industry, in the sports industry, that's going to be challenged and damaged by lack of events, lack of ticketing in their case, and sponsoring and global TV rights, it means that they're going to need more B2C revenue, and they're going to push what we do even more. And that's ironically what we think is going to happen. We are still talking to major corporation. Again, I spoke in the past about telecom companies, media companies. Sports is not disappearing tomorrow. I will be more worried about the financial industry, yeah, sure, but the sports industry is going nowhere. And even in the esports space, where we are partner with OG, one of the biggest, the biggest Dota 2 team, and now one of wannabe biggest CSGO team as well. But we have more esports team in the pipe. Same story. It's all about finding the compromise when you want to both announce and launch it. We don't want to also be crazy and doing everything at the wrong time. I think we've proven in the past that we are always trying to time at the right time, even if we don't control everything. But yeah. So partnerships still in the pipe, still moving forward. Launching Barcelona in Q2 as expected. Yes, it's still going to happen. Launching our exchange. Yes, it's still going to happen. As we said, launching new feature. Yes, having new corporate strategic partners that are like the big corporation. Still gonna happen. Not because we want, but just because it makes sense for both parties. So we're still on that. But all of this is going to be challenged from events that sometimes we do not expect. I can tell you that I was not expecting to have this keynote today, 10 days ago. And yet here we are. And I was not expecting a lot of things. But our ability to sustain our vision, our ability to deliver actually our vision is the most important. Our ability to continue to develop, to have ideas. In France we have this very famous quote, because in France we don't have oil, petrol. So we have this quote that is, in France we don't have oil, but we have talent, or we have ideas. And here it's a bit the same. Okay, fair enough. Right now for the next few weeks there is no match, or there is no sports events. But it doesn't matter, because we still have a product that we're going to improve. We still have ideas, we have creativity, we have people that can brainstorm and brings innovation. So yeah, long story short, it's going to be challenging for everybody, including us, but we are very confident about what's the next move for us in the sports space, in the entertainment space. Don't forget that last time we spoke about the fact that we wanted to be in the entertainment space as well, and that's our still pending discussion. We are not in a hurry as well. Again, yeah, sure, everybody can, and everybody's panicking today, and rightfully, because it is, we are going a little bit in the unknown as the world, not as a Chiliz, but reality is, whatever happened in the next 2-3 months for us as a business, we are still in a 10-year plan, on a 5-year plan. 2 years ago, we had an idea. 9 months, when did we listed? July, yeah, 9 months ago, well, even less than 9 months ago, we just listed. We launched our product a little bit less than 4 months ago now. Still every day we have actually registration. It's going to be less, of course, in the next few days and few weeks, but still, we have people spending money, trying the product, and yet the product is by far not perfect. So maybe it is a chance for us. It is painful, it is expensive as well, but it is a chance for us. Now, having said so, I really want you guys to stay safe. Your government in your country is giving you guidance. You need to follow them. You need to be a little bit more proactive. Because it's going to touch us, it's going to reach us one way or another, and that's going to reach you, it's going to reach your family, it's going to reach your friends, and you need to be ready for that. So Beside that, I think I don't want to say too much. I'm gonna go on the questions either on Twitter the questions are being sent to me. So if you have questions, please send them either on Twitter right now or on YouTube, the chat on the right, and I will answer it now after I'm drinking a little bit of water. Okay. So. So yeah, again, please send a question right now in the chat. I mean, in Twitter, you answer to the thread that I either started or on the Chiliz thread or on the YouTube chat on the right. There is a column where you can start questions. Alors, Brown Whale on Telegram, thank you for taking the time to ease investors' concern. Well, that's my job here again. We've been very reactive since last week when really like shit started to hit the fan, as we say. Yeah. Question, what is the main concern you have about the corona impacted Chiliz, operational and strategic? So again, I think I responded to that question. Operationally, it's just disturb and disrupt our day-to-day, but we are still delivering everything. In terms of strategic, I think we see that as a bit of a delay in some of the operation we wanted to launch, but also as an opportunity to actually deliver more to the clubs and the fans that we are working with. And do you think Chiliz can excel by leverage this crisis? Well, me as an entrepreneur, I'm always optimistic, and yet I have to be realistic towards my team first, the colleagues, towards you as well, towards our users, clients, partners. But I do believe that there is an opportunity for us, especially, and I will disclose that much more in 2 weeks. The debit card we are planning to launch, I will release what I believe is for us a killer app, and that will fit so well what's happening right now in the world. So, yeah, I believe it's going to be challenging, damaging, and yet building new opportunities. When IPL cricket, well, IPL is delayed, as you know, a few weeks. We're still talking to both the league and some teams. I said in the past that cricket will be in 2020 something for us, and we will deliver something very soon. It doesn't mean it's next week, but yeah, cricket will be part of our journey in 2020, and I think with what's happening, even more. Are you planning to prepare a stacking program? Still not for now. As you know, I don't like it. I'd rather do burning based on business or more like token velocity that makes sense. So not for now, but never say never. Okay. How the COVID-19 impacted development, and can we expect any change to the roadmap for the near futures as a result of it? So the answer to that is very clear. The answer is no. It doesn't impact our ability to deliver. It doesn't impact, as I said, I just received notification from our new 1.6 mobile app. That is being tested today in the next few days, and that will be released in the next few days as well publicly to you, that have significant features into it. So no, this doesn't impact. Could it change the roadmap? Yes, not in a negative way, but just in the way that we may gonna change a priority, say, this is more important than the other thing that we wanted to release, for example. So it doesn't affect our ability to develop and deliver. It can just motivate us to change priorities, but that's different. Will we be, no, how unique is the exchange? I think, yeah, how unique is the exchange which will be launched by the end of the month, going to be from traditional exchange like we have now. Again, the exchange where we're launching, we don't compete with Binance or OKX or Coinbase or whatever. For us, it's very clear. We are a fan transactional platform. So whatever exchange we are launching, which is actually technically already available on chiliz.net right now, you can go. It's just the fact that we will launch the trading of one or several tokens at some point, and that's the trading of these tokens, which, by the way, it's going to be very interesting because, as you know, trading is about trading the news, I suppose. So trading news of the sports industry is going to be a completely new game, if I may say so. So it goes up, it goes down. It's not relevant for us. For us, we're on exchange. When Bitcoin going up or down, Binance is still generating revenue. Same for us. Chiliz.net and the trading of the fan tokens will still generate revenue at some point. Don't get excited, it's going to take time, but it's still going to generate revenue because people will trade the news, even if it goes up or down. What are we going to do with our tokens since all leagues are being suspended? Well, as I said, we're actually going to build even more utility. I mean, first of all, the utility is still there, and the trading component is going to be part of it. But most 99.9% of people who have fan tokens don't have a chance to go in the VIP experience that we are offering, and that's still going to be the case. So for us, we have to have more utility around that, but we also have to say, hey guys, yeah, sure, we have 2 months delay of some of the experiences, but it doesn't disappear. It's just delayed. The experiences still eventually going to happen. I like this question. Do you think a friendly match organization between the clubs you are dealing with could happen? Yes, we are talking to the clubs that not a friendly match as like live, because players don't want to meet each other, but we could do like a live stream. As I said earlier, we could do some live stream event with some players, and I'm going to try to work on that actually in the next couple of weeks. That will be interesting. Please add more gaming partnership. Today I received actually one of the contract I'm supposed to sign with one of the cool team, so maybe soon. When NFTs, very soon. I'm actually literally, I hope by the I don't want to say it. So I will inform you in the next AMA and keynote in 2 weeks, but very soon. Do you plan to tokenize big events like Euro, World Cup, and Olympic Games? No, this is not our business. I mean, that's something that sometimes, and I'm sorry I'm saying that, annoys me. Please understand what we do before asking us questions. We are tokenizing teams, meaning that we are tokenizing the fact that you as a fan can either have a say or have benefits or membership or trading component of a relationship with these teams. What can I tokenize with a Euro, which by the way is going to be postponed for 1 year, most likely, or with the World Cup? World Cup, because we are close to Qatar, both Qatar Airways, PSG, and all of these teams, we are looking at some opportunities there, but it's in 2 years, so it's very, very long time. Has the perspective of digital money companies changed as a result of? Absolutely not. That's actually, for once I will say that, fucking fake news. There is no change in the government here in Malta in terms of support of blockchain company, crypto company, etc. And it's very, very annoying actually to read that. It's just people who wants to get clickbait, and usually it's about jealousy in that space. But the government is very supportive of it. We had the minister that visited our offices a few weeks ago here, and actually first because we are the biggest crypto company here in Malta with Binance. There is the 2 biggest are Binance and us in terms of employment. And also they want our input to see what we can do together, how we can grow the game. Of course, right now, the priority of the government is not how crypto is going to grow in Malta. They have way bigger priorities, and they are honestly delivering it very well. I do believe that Malta, and cross my fingers, please do the same, that Malta is going to handle it very well, because yes, we are an island, so it's slightly easier. We are a small country, so it's slightly easier. So they actually took very strong decision a few weeks ago by closing Italy, a relationship between Italy and Malta, etc. So I feel confident. Don't know what's going to happen, but Malta is a good place to be right now. Okay. No, Tom, I will not tell your questions. What is this? It's in French. That's why I was not understanding. And yet I'm French. When the trading will start? Again, this information I said by end of Q1, so you have 2 weeks more to wait. I don't want on purpose to actually change the plans of what we wanted to say and when. So you will have to listen to the next AMA, the next keynote, the 30th of March. Do you think we will have a fan token of Mechanic Sports? Yes. Same story. Don't want to disclose anything, but we have very active conversation with some of the biggest stables, as we say in French, but car teams or cars manufacturers that are present in Formula One, especially, and more than one, literally. So we are talking to few of them as part of the global people we are talking to in terms of IPs and teams we want to work with, and we'll see where it goes. Yes. Will Chiliz seek to keep adding more and more utilities for Chiliz in general? Even though they are not sports related? Yes, the answer to that is yes, and especially in the real economy. And that will definitely come from what I will explain to you guys the 31st of March, the 30th of March, because I will disclose more a couple of the projects we have, and one of, as I said, one I believe is a killer app in the sports/fintech industry related to the debit card, and there is a lot of cool stuff around that. So hopefully that's going to be exciting. It's going to take 3 to 4 months to develop, but we're starting already working on that. And again, you know, the most important thing when there is a global crisis is two things. You need to adapt to what's happening in the short term and take sometimes harsh decisions for that. But at the same time, you don't want to change your long-term plan, because your long-term plan is still going to work. And what we're doing, it's still going to be for hopefully for the next 5 to 10 years. Joe, I'm on. Is there any other questions? Because you haven't sent me a question since 10 minutes now. Let me see quickly on YouTube. Hello, guys. Merhaba as well from Turkey. Current status of West Ham. We are waiting the date from them. So we focus on the other teams for now. Am I sponsorized by Evian? No, but I love Evian. It's a French water, as you know, and obviously I'm very patriotic, so I'm drinking that. And for those who haven't seen the last AMA, I had Red Bull, but you know it's the crisis, and it's all about health, so drink water. Let me just go above. Can you get... what's the current status? This I answered. No, I'm not answering this because it's funny. Is Chiliz and Socios ready financially for the next 8 weeks or whatever? Yes, no problemos. You know, the fact that there is match or not match doesn't change anything in our bottom line. So unfortunately, or fortunately, it doesn't change anything. We have to be careful, and we will focus on the future. But match or no match has no financial impact for us in a very short term. Are we gonna die soon? Hey, well, I don't know. I mean, if you drive in a very bad way, yes, probably, but the rest is not my business. Finally, you drank some water. Yes, Carobo. Exactly. Finally. Okay. J'adore l'eau. Yes. Okay. On the tweet on the Facebook, I don't see any question. I'm just gonna go quickly on my Twitter to see if I see anything. Tac. Is there a replay? Yes, there will be a replay, guys, on YouTube and Twitter. I mean, you're gonna see it. Okay. Now, last important thing, actually. You know, I spent 2 months in Asia before the virus. Got very lucky, actually. But spent 2 months in Asia, and Asia is definitely, as you know, strategic for us. And in a way, Asia is restarting right now. My best friend lives in Hong Kong. We have hi Brian. We have a team in Seoul, Korea as well. We have partners in Japan, Osaka, Tokyo. Hello, guys. So we are following very much what's happening in Asia, and we are in a way a little bit lucky as well, because Asia is gonna restart first. Asia is gonna wake up first in a way out of this crisis, and Asia is probably gonna get stronger out of it, much more than some of the Western countries. Sorry, guys. And for us, it's also an opportunity, because Asia always has been our biggest priority in terms of consumer-facing product, as you can see, both on the socios.com app, which is in, I don't know, 7 or 8 languages. I actually don't know, but we have Korean, Japan, Chinese, of course, and some others. In Chiliz.net, we even have, I think, 10 languages, including Vietnamese, Indonesian, Thai. So we will eventually profit of this Asian-focused situation with our partners. Some of the biggest partners we are talking to right now are based in Asia, and more than ever, they will look and they will crave for Western sports not content, but relationship. So what we've envisioned is gonna help this to happen. Another thing as well, talking about trading, because that's most of you guys are looking at us. Trading is obviously very painful right now for all of us. I used to take it very personal when token goes down. Right now, I cannot take it personal because the world is going down. Having said so, we are very confident about the fact that some big, I need to weight my words, some big partners are going to increase the reach of the tokens in certain territories. Could be in Asia, could be in other countries in the world. And we are actively looking at that. We are answering questions because, in a way, if I may say so, Chiliz is one of these rare utility token that has a real utility and will have a real utility in the next few months and few years. And therefore, both exchanges, investors, if you follow my Twitter account, you've seen that I'm doing a lot, or I've done at least in the past, a lot of, I will say, virtual roadshow. So there is investors that are looking at us specifically, that want to trade our tokens, that want to understand our tokens, because they see the opportunity. And when the retail industry, the sports industry, the consumer industry is gonna take off again, because now it's gonna be a little bit silent, or quiet, it's gonna take off again, we will be the first one to be looked at because we will be exposed to that growth. So yeah, stay safe. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. I'm unfortunately always on Telegram, always on Twitter. You can quote me, you can @ me, you can ask me a question. I will respond as much as I can publicly to share this information with you guys. Stay safe, follow as much as you can your government indication, and talk to you very soon. Actually, I'll talk to you in 2 weeks latest, and maybe I will talk to you before. Thank you, guys.